Yes, hello. I welcome you to this Bell lecture. I'll be taking you through our unit, which is Unit 3. Okay, Unit 3 for our case, which is developed for WebFace. Implying that what we are looking at is designing and developing the website. Developing and designing a website for the client. Yeah, implying in our design unit this term, our term 3, our aim objective is to use the technical skills that we're going to learn in this unit to be able to come up with a product that will be able to resolve the client's challenge. So if you recall, our key concept is development. Our related concept is function and adaptability. Okay. Then our global context is global context, fairness. Then our exploration is can take one social entrepreneur or social entrepreneurs. So for this case, allow me to introduce to you our main skill objective, which is introduction to web design. Okay. Now, in introduction to web design, we are going to be looking at HTML. This is our main effort. And HTML stands for hypertext markup language. So you need to see that this markup and hypertext is one word, markup language. So HTML, H and T, they are combined when you're writing them in full. So hypertext markup language. Well, what is this? What is HTML? In the essence, what is HTML? So we need to know that HTML is a fundamental language. HTML, in brief, is a fundamental language basically for web page creations, for web page creation. Okay, for web page creation. In other words, if you want to create any web page, you have to use definitely the HTML language. So like other languages, we have many other languages for different applications. We have like Visual Basic, we have JavaScript. There are many languages, Java itself. But for our case, we are dealing with web development or web design. Now, here we have looked at HTML as a fundamental language for web page creation. In other words, it defines the structure and content. The structure and content of the web page. It's basically using the tags. I'm going to explain more about this using the tags. So this is a keyword tag. Also, web page is also a keyword that I'm going to talk more about here. The structure, which is the architecture, also is the keyword. It can be an architecture or it can be a layout. Content, this is exactly what is contained or what these web pages hold. Okay, then that makes us understand what HTML is all about. Now we have what we call a web page. So a web page, this is a page that contains content on the website. Such content includes okay, you can mention one is we talked about text, we talked about multimedia, which is a combination of videos, images or moving images, audio. Okay, so we have hyperlinks, which are links to other pages. Okay, and we can have also other multiple pages within the web page. So these we can call them these ones we can call them menus or menu. Okay, that's about a web page. Then we have also what we call the home page. So every website has a starting page, and this starting page is always called the home page. In other words, in a nutshell, a home page is the starting page of a website. That's a simple explanation about that. Next is let's look at basic HTML basic HTML document structure or basic document structure. Basic document structure, and here we are starting with like how we can write the HTML document structure. And to start with it, we need to start with what we call doc type HTML. Okay, so what does this one mean? So whenever you're starting to write HTML, you need to start with HTML, of course, but for this case, for this HTML, we're starting with exclamation mark document type or doc type HTML, implying that this defines, or this line defines the document type. Okay, as HTML5. Now I'll talk more about the difference between HTML5 and ordinary HTML, which is HTML3. This one, HTML5, is a new version or is an upgraded version of HTML3, of which this one, HTML5, is more dynamic. So this is dynamic. It is dynamic and allows the mobile responsiveness. That's why we're using HTML5. So if it was the other ordinary HTML, we would just start from HTML only. But for our case, we start from document type HTML. That's one. Then we go to now we define HTML here. Okay. Remember, these are tags. We use less. Okay. This one means it's greater symbol. Then this one is, sorry, this is less symbol. The less than symbol. Then this is greater than symbol. Okay. So what does this one mean here now? This is the root of the HTML document. So this one is root of the HTML document. Okay. Then we have head. Okay, you can type it like head. What does this one do? This one contains the meta. Okay, this one contains the metadata. Metadata is data about another data. So it's like if you have a file, within that file you have some other sub files. So this contains metadata about the document. Such as, like, for example, we're going to look at like links. If we come to connecting CSS, or like links to style sheets, yeah, of which we are going to call CSS. Okay, when we come to that section. All title, also title is also enclosed within head. Then we also have title, as you see here. For this defines the title. This defines the title, basically, of the file. What does this one do? It just appears. It appears in the browser tab when you start your page. For example, it will appear like, for this case here, xcar draw is a title. This is a title of this file. Well, that's all about the document structure, where we have 4 major items. For this case, we have document type, HTML, head. There's one last important thing called body. This one. What does this one do? The body contains, this one contains the visible page content. In other words, what you want to be displayed, we shall be typing it within the body tags. Within the body, we're going to look at this one when we come to that section. Another thing that I need you to get more light about is the content and text formatting. Content and text formatting. Okay, so One, we have, I believe you are familiar with the tags. We have heading 1 to heading 6. This one, what we call H. Okay, we shall be calling it. It starts from H1 to H6. This is the heading. We call them their heading levels. The heading levels. Okay. Another thing, we have P, which stands for paragraph. So this is paragraph. We have BL, something of this kind, which is line breaks. Okay, we shall see how to apply these ones. We have B, guess what? Stands for what? Bold text. Then we have I, which is italic text. Then also we have U. I trust now everyone can guess what U is. This one is for underline text. Also we have strong. What does strong do? It is like it emphasizes the boldness. So we can say this one emphasizes important text. It is bold but important text. Important text, which is bold, of course. Then M, which stands for emphasis. What does this one do? Italic. It's also, it is emphasis italic. It emphasizes italic. Well, that's the section of content. Then also look at the section of lists. Let's also look at the skills of lists. How are these lists done? So we have OL. This one stands for ordered lists. Ordered lists. Ordered lists, and these ones are numbered. For example, from 1, like 1, 2, 3, O, A, B, C, something of this kind. So we shall apply these ones also. Ordered lists. We also have UL, which is an ordered list. This is an ordered lists. Okay. These ones we say bullets. You know them. You have like circle, square, dots. Shall look at these ones practically. We also have LI, which is list item. This one stands for list item or list items. We also have DL. Guess what does this one stand for? Description list. Description list. Then we have DT. Guess what? What does it stand for? I can't hear you. Well, definition term. Definition term. Definition term. Okay, or terms. And remember, these are part of the they are part of the DL still, the description lists. Okay. Then maybe lastly we can look at DD. What is this? Definition description. Definition description. Okay, they are still part of the DL, the definition description list. Okay, like this. That's the section of lists. And another important part I would like you to have a look at is links and navigation. Okay, these ones we have like which stands for hyperlink. Okay, so I have something like img. Guess what stands for image? Okay, I have something of SLC. This one shall be filing it as source. Yeah, source. Sure. Yes, another part that I want you to learn more in this unit, as we look at the practical part of it, and the attributes. What's an attribute? Okay, let's look at what's an attribute. These are the terms that we shall be using every time. So we have attribute versus tags. If I write something like P, can you guess what's a tag? This one and this one, these are tags. And P, this is an attribute. Now, can you guess what an attribute is? In other words, an attribute provides additional information, okay, or properties to the element. So look at that one. It's like modifying. Then for the tags, we have as this part. I talked about tags here. Here I talked about tags. On this section, I talked about tags. Okay, this one. Less than symbol and greater than symbol. So when we are here, we have types of tags or tags. I can put them clear. So we have opening tags, closing tags, okay, and content. So this open, here an example is, this is opening tag. Then closing tag for paragraph, we add the slash line, the slanting line, this one. So this one is closing tag, this is closing tag, and this one is the opening tag. Okay, yeah, good to go. Now what we are going to do is, let's just look at text editors. How shall we be writing our codes? We have what we call text editors. These are interfaces where we shall be able to type our codes and we run them. So the first one is VS Code or Visual Studio Code. Okay, we have Notepad ++. Have also Notepad. This is just the one that comes with Windows as a utility. Then we also have Sublime Text. So these are the major common ones. These ones. This one is the common one. Also Sublime Text. Also Notepad. So if I may take you to, let me see, Notepad ++. Okay, shall look at it. Notepad. Yeah, this is how Notepad looks like. This is the interface of Notepad. So if we put our code here, doc type HTML, okay, which is HTML5. We can also add our code HTML as we open. This is how we shall be typing our codes. This is Notepad this one. Now let's look at VS Code. Let me see, VS Code, Visual Studio Code. For VS Code, looks like this. Okay. This is the interface of it. If you want to put the codes to have that interface, we shall look at it also, because you need to first define the page. For example, I can, let me say, index.html. Also, this is where we shall be typing codes here. Okay, this is our document type. You get? So we shall be dealing with these ones. Okay, that is it all about text editors, and we are going to familiarize ourselves with this one. It's the one we shall be using throughout this course. Now, let's have our first page. Let's create our first page, since now we have what it takes. We know the base structure, and we also know some of the HTML tags. Now, let's look at understanding skills now. Skill number one is understanding the basic HTML structure. And for our case, the skill here I need you to know is knowing the basic layout of the HTML document. Okay, now let's demonstrate it. As remember, in Criterion C, this is what we'll be doing. Now, what do we do first? Let's create a simple page. We call it page with the title my first HTML page. My first HTML page. So this is what we do. We start with exclamation mark, doct type HTML. Okay, we now say HTML. Okay, from HTML we say head. Okay, below head we have title within it. Okay, below, within this one we close our title. Okay, then below this we close our head. Okay, below this it's where we have our open our body. Below body, we also close body. Okay, then finally we close HTML. Now, we said our title is my first HTML page. Okay, let us write something within the title here. Maybe let's say define heading 1. Let's give it a heading, hello world. Okay, we close our heading 1. Maybe let's also add a paragraph. We call it, this is my first web page. This is my first web page. Okay, we close this. Now, remember, we have just written it here, so it does not say it is a web page. So what we need to do, we need to write this statement, you can even copy it. Okay, since we have it, you open one of the text editor like VS Code, you paste your code here. So now if you want to see the output of this one, for our case, we're going to right click and we say open with live server. We see if our page can open. Congratulations. You see, this is the title that we load, and this was heading 1, and this is the paragraph, which is paragraph 1. If we come this side and we add another heading here, like heading 2, H2, maybe we say I'm a web designer. You just save as Ctrl S. When you open your browser, you find that it is a little bit smaller than heading 1, so they move as they decrease in font size. Well, that is it all about what I had for you today. I know you have to go through this. This is what we started with. We started from here, our unit title. I took you through the key concept and related concept. Then main focus was on introduction to web design. We looked at HTML, which is a hypertext markup language. I talked about what it means, which is a fundamental language for building web pages. I talked about what is a web page here. I talked about the home page. I talked about the structure here, where we have HTML, a doc type, which defines HTML5. Okay, I talked about this HTML, which is the root of the document, the head, which contains metadata, title, which defines the title of the page. Talked about body, where all the content is contained. Also, I talked about the content and text formatting, where we have paragraphs, breaks, bold, italic. We shall look at these ones. Breadth. We have links. Then talked about attributes, opening tags, closing tags, content, text editors, the major common ones, which is Sublime Text and Visual Studio. You can also use Notepad++, then skill set, and also we came up with one program. Yeah, I think this is what I had for today. I wish you the best as you practice. Practice, practice, practice.